Hello, this is God of Tomatoes, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Minotaur as of version .54. The base Minotaur has a cost of 12 and has a range of 3 in both horizontal and vertical directions, but perhaps the most interesting ability of the Minotaur is that whenever it kills a champion, it swaps places with the enemy king after killing the champion. The Minotaur tier 2 gains an additional rook move in exchange for 2 more cost. The Minotaur tier 3 only costs 1 additional value, however it gains diagonal mobility. The Minotaur tier 4 takes the diagonal mobility 1 step further and adds an orthogonal attack, however it costs an additional 3 for a total of 18. The Minotaur was originally added in patch .9.24, and to further display its skills, as per usual I've prepared a test army. Units such as the Portal and Nexus work extremely well with the Minotaur, as they can allow the Minotaur to attack the enemy immediately from the start. However, a more common and more surefire strategy is to use a Summoner in order to bring units directly to the Minotaur for it to kill. The Comet can also be used in tandem with the Minotaur in order to keep enemy champions from running away from the Minotaur. Another trick with the Minotaur, which is possible, albeit much more difficult, is to use a unit such as Samurai or Lust who has a trigger in order to enhance the Minotaur's abilities. This will cause it so that when the Minotaur swaps with the enemy king is immediately affected by whatever trigger you have waiting for it. Although I did not properly demonstrate it in this video, the way you would do such a thing is to have Lust trigger pointed at the enemy champion which you plan to kill with the Minotaur. You would then have a Samurai with its trigger pointed at the space where Lust trigger would cause the enemy king to move to. Alternatively, if you use a higher tier Lust, you could just kill the king with Lust itself. Another, albeit more niche compatibility that the Minotaur has is with the Behemoth, because the Behemoth can disturb the enemy minion line, causing the enemy champions to come out sooner, which will give free fodder for your Minotaurs. Another route, though I did not fully demonstrate it in the video, is you can use a beacon to recall your Minotaur from the enemy champion line after swapping with a champion. That way the enemy's king stays out, but your Minotaur is pulled safely back home. Also, as you can see here, you can use units like Thunder Mage or Fire Mage with timed abilities in order to trap the enemy king when it swaps. So which Minotaur is best? Well, we quickly find out that it's Minotaur tier 2, and the reasoning behind that is it has more range than Minotaur tier 1, meaning that there's a higher likelihood that it'll get to activate its ability, but it doesn't cost as much as Minotaur tier 3 and tier 4, which don't get enough ability to make up for their cost. The tricky thing about the cost with Minotaur is you can't just consider the cost of the actual unit, as sure, paying 1 extra for diagonal movement is good on most units, but since the Minotaur is a one-off unit which you plan to kill immediately, as you're probably going to be more focused on taking the enemy king, you generally want to have a cheaper Minotaur if possible. However, Minotaur base doesn't have enough attack power to guarantee that you'll get those champion kills. You also have to consider the cost of all the units that use in tandem with Minotaur, as you don't want to go too far past a cost of 25 morale for all the units that you need in order to guarantee a king kill.